Hello and welcome to Trojans Live. Well, we're talking USC football offense all show. And a guy that we're really counting on this season is Gary Bryant Jr. I'm calling him a second-year wide receiver. I think technically he is a sophomore, but that first year eligibility-wise doesn't necessarily count against him. He did get to play in 6 games. He joins Jordan Moore, Sean Cody now. Gary Bryant Jr., welcome to Trojans Live. What's going on, Gary?
Nothing much. I thank you guys for having me.
You know, in the last segment, Gary, we were talking to your coach, Kerry Colbert, and, you know, the comparison I made, it was actually one that we talked to Drake London about last year, which was, you know, Drake in the first 6 games of his freshman year had 3 total catches. And then he just broke out and went crazy in the back half of that season. You never got the back half. He said to us, I remember talking to him after the UCLA game and you broke that kickoff return. He's like, man, Gary is so close to just breaking out and having a huge game. Did you feel like when that season ended, hey, if there was a second half of the season, you know, you were really close?
Yeah, most definitely. I think if we had a longer season, I would have had a better chance of just getting the ball and stuff like that and knowing the offense. And even if we had a preseason with fall camp and spring ball, I think it would have been better too as well.
Gary, looking back on last year, obviously a wild year. You only able to get 6 games in. What did you take from last year? What are some of the things that you learned going through that tough season and trying to figure out your way on the team and what your role would be?
Yeah, just figuring out the offense and my role, like you said, just going in there every day, working hard, having the mentality of just getting better. So just learning the quarterbacks and everybody on the team and doing whatever I could do to help us win on Saturdays and help us just build a championship team.
And you did it with that kickoff return against UCLA. I mean, you were one of the heroes of that game. What did that do for your confidence just to have a signature play to come out of that season going into a big sophomore year?
Yeah, it definitely boosts your confidence. Just knowing that you could play at this level, making plays out there, contributing to your team. And it was a big moment and it was a rival game. So it was a big game for us. But just making the play, yeah, it was definitely a confidence boost.
Gary, we just talked to your coach, Kerry Colbert, and he mentioned, you know, you guys lost some big name guys. You lose Usain Brown and you lose Tyler Vaughns. Who are the guys that are kind of stepping up in those positions, kind of being more the vocal guys to take that leadership role?
Yeah, I think the offense is as a group we're doing great collectively, just going out there working. Superstar Nixon came in. He's an older guy coming in, leading the team, making sure everybody's doing their job. Drake London's taking that role as well, just making sure holding everybody accountable. Yeah, I try to hold everybody accountable, and it's just spreading around the team, you know. So it's just a good energy right now and a good vibe.
You know, I see you out there in your jersey, a Southern California guy, and your elite speed. I always thought Deshaun Jackson. That's always the comp I've heard for you. Is that one you've gotten a lot? Is there a certain receiver or type of receiver, you know, that you keep your eye on?
Yeah, I got Deshaun Jackson. That's my whole life. So ever since I've been in high school, that's all I hear. But I model my game after everybody. You know, everybody played different, but I could take my game from Julio, Michael Thomas, even though they're big receivers, to the small receivers, Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham. So I just try to take bits and pieces from everybody's game, added to mine.
D-Jax was supposed to come to USC, Sean. Did you screw up that recruitment? Who screwed up that recruitment?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that recruiting weekend. It was a big week. We had a lot of guys, a lot of big name guys there, Jordan. Yeah. No, but Gary, I want to talk about spring ball a little bit. I remember being in spring ball, and it could be a grind sometimes. And, you know, eventually just going against that same guy on the other side. I remember lining up against big John Drake against me, and it always seemed like the one-on-one came between me and John. Is there somebody on the other side of the ball who you call out or you want to go against when you're running a route out there?
Yeah, I definitely want to go with the best. Whoever is having a good camp. Chris Steele obviously came in a little late, so we want to go against him. ITS, Jaden. It's just about getting everybody better and working on different things. So they might play a little different. So he's a bigger DB, so I might want to go against him some days. Chris Steele, he's a smaller DB. I might want to go against him some days. So just playing different and just elevating every day, just going out there, taking it day by day, living in that moment and trying to make plays and get better. So in 4 months or how long it is that we're going to be winning.
You're listening to Gary Bryant Jr. on Trojans Live. It's funny, we were talking about Deshaun Jackson. He was a Long Beach Poly kid, and back then that was the real power school. Your high school's just blowing up. I mean, it's become this incredible pipeline to USC. What's it like to be out there with high school teammates and just, the comfort level of having so many familiar faces around.
Yeah, it's definitely it's great going in, and they graduated a little earlier than me, so they like paved the way, and I got to see a little early before I got here. But just going out there building that bond and getting better every day. So taking practice serious, and I see them in their grind, they see me in my grind, and just know that we're getting better so we can see the outcome.
Gary, you've been working with Keaton last year. You working him in spring here this year. How have you seen him doing? How is he feeling out there? Last year, we know we saw some wavy passes, a lot of question marks throughout last year. How's he been this spring? How's he looking throwing the ball?
He's looking good. We got obviously I didn't play a lot last year. Drake's playing outside right now at practice. With superstar Nixon, he came in, so just throwing a different receiver. So we're just trying to get the timing down, and it'll come. But he looked good throwing the ball. It's just about timing right now, just to getting us and him on the same page.
What's the scouting report on the young quarterbacks and on the two freshmen? What are they looking like out on the practice field?
Yeah, they look great, man. They look great. They take the time out to get better, and I seen that personally. They're young, you could tell, obviously with some reads, but other than that, they look great throwing the ball. The ball's coming out good and things like that. So that would be good.
Well, I'm ready to see some returns to the house next year, Gary. Good luck, man. I'm pulling for you. I love a nice return to the house. I need signature dance move into the end zone, a little skip, a little hop into the end zone. What you got for us? Anything?
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna get in there for you.
Gary Bryant Jr. looking forward to a big second year out of him, and he'll be a part of the spring game on Saturday at the Coliseum. That will be a fun one to watch.